I joined the gym to get back into shape. Linda had mentioned a few times that she thought I was letting myself go and needed to do something about it. We were in desperate need of a change, and for me, getting fit felt like a good way to start. My personal trainer at the gym was a young woman named Mia. She was probably in her early 20s, petite with long blonde hair and a great body. She was friendly and put me at ease right away, but I didn't think much of it. As the weeks went by, I found myself looking forward to my sessions with Mia more and more. It wasn't just because she was easy to talk to or because she pushed me hard during our workouts, both of which were true, but there was something else there too. Something I couldn't quite put my finger on. One day after our session, as we were cooling down and stretching out, Mia asked if I wanted to grab a smoothie after we finished up. I hesitated for a moment before agreeing. We sat together at one of the small tables near the juice bar and sipped our drinks in silence for a few minutes. "Are you married?" Mia finally asked, breaking the quiet. "Yeah," I replied with a nod. 10 years next month." "That's nice," Mia said with a smile. "You must be really happy." I wasn't sure how to answer that question, so instead, I changed the subject. "What about you?" I asked with an awkward smile on my face. "Do you have a boyfriend?" "No," she replied with a shake of her head. "No time for that right now." We finished our smoothies in silence after that and then headed back towards the locker room so I could shower and get ready for work. After that day, things started to change between us during our sessions at the gym. The flirting became more obvious, and I began to wonder if maybe there was something more going on than just a professional relationship. It all came to a head one day when Mia showed up at my house. She said she wanted to show me some exercises that we could do together and asked if I had any free weights or resistance bands at home. I led her down to the basement where I have a small home gym set up. She admired my equipment for a few minutes before turning and closing the door behind her. "What's this all about?" I asked, confused by her actions. "I've been thinking about you a lot lately," Mia replied with a shy smile on her face. "And I can't stop wondering what it would be like to be with you." I was taken aback by her words. I was happily married, but here was this beautiful young woman standing in front of me, telling me that she wanted me. "I don't know what to say," I stammered out after a moment. "I mean, I'm married." "I know," Mia replied with a nod. "But it doesn't seem like you're very happy." She stepped closer and reached out to touch my arm gently. "Let me make you feel good," she whispered as she ran her fingers lightly over my skin. I felt myself starting to give in to her advances. My passion took over, and all I could think about was how good it would feel to be with someone new, someone different from my wife. Just as things were about to go too far, the door creaked open behind us and there stood Linda, staring at us in shock. To say that our marriage had been struggling lately would be an understatement. We rarely talked anymore unless it was absolutely necessary, and even then it usually ended in an argument. We had both been feeling unhappy and unfulfilled for a while now, and I had even started to look at other women as a way to escape from our problems. But as I stood there in the basement of our house, caught in the act of cheating on my wife, I suddenly realized that what I was doing was wrong. I loved Linda, and no amount of anger or frustration could change that. I pushed Mia away from me gently and took a step back towards my wife. "Linda," I said softly, "I can explain." But she didn't give me a chance to say anything else. She turned and ran up the stairs, slamming the door behind her. I looked at Mia for a moment, anger and frustration boiling up inside of me. But then I remembered that it wasn't her fault. She was just as unhappy as I was and had been looking for an escape just like me. "Get out," I hissed at her after a moment. "I never want to see you again." She nodded silently and made her way up the stairs and out of my life forever. That night Linda and I had the first real conversation we've had in months. We talked about how we were both feeling and what we needed from each other to be happy again. It wasn't easy, but we managed to work through our problems together and come out stronger on the other side. Things between us are still far from perfect, but at least now we're willing to put in the effort needed to fix our marriage.